What is up, gang? Oh shit, yeah, we got 4 people already. What's up, yo?
Let's roll. Let's roll. No Todd Beamer though. No Todd Beamer.
What's up, bro? Shit, what are we expecting for 2025, buddy?
We're gonna have an indirect link to Kanye.
I know, it's kind of crazy. Oh, I hope so.
I want to have at least one sponsorship by the end of quarter one of 2025 is fair, I think, because that's
absolutely.
Like,
yeah,
maybe it'll be Gorilla Mind Energy.
There you go. I want to get a Honey Pack sponsorship, dude.
Have you seen
these things?
Yeah, Honey Pack, that'd be another good one. See, Honey Pack's better than Blue Chew because Blue Chew is for those that struggle, and we don't struggle around. There's no struggling around here.
No, it's just a performance-enhancing drug.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Which, you know, the other one went, which is an issue. I'm sure it's around somewhere. Who knows? If I have to, I'll go get another one. But no, I bought 2. Where the fuck is the other one? It's somewhere around here. I don't know. I'll probably put it up somewhere. But anyway, I'm wearing this is my favorite shirt. I found it again today. Dare to overdose and die.
Where'd you find it at?
It was like buried under other clothes and stuff.
It happens.
Yeah. That happens a lot to me. Like, I'll be missing. They're not really missing. It's just like misplaced for the time being.
Lost in the shuffle.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Let me go ahead and put our normal banner up here. Let's see. There we go. All right. Now
last one of that one. The next one we'll have to do like blue for January because like I always think of blue in January because like it's still snowing and shit.
Yeah, speaking of snowing, we're getting a huge fucking snowstorm here starting tomorrow. So we're supposed to be getting like, right now they're calling for like 14 inches. It's going to be like nonstop snow from fucking tomorrow until Saturday.
And it felt like spring here today. Like I was driving because I only worked like till like 11 my time today. So I was driving home and I live right by this golf course here. Yeah. And the place was like there's 3 of the holes on one. Like the course is split across the street. There's some of the holes on one side. Then you drive your cart or you walk across the street to the other side. And there was like damn near congestion on the holes. Like it was the fucking spring.
Dude, it was like 50-something here today. I made a comment about that today at work. And I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of how weather goes sometimes. It'll be warm and then you get like it'll be like either like a snowstorm or like a huge rainstorm or something the next day.
When you don't live in like Florida or some shit, anywhere else Florida or Arizona or some shit, but anywhere else, the weather's super just bipolar.
Yeah. I did find that on the Honey Pack.
I remember this time of year, like when I was a kid, I felt like maybe I was just a kid and I just grew up and grew some balls and like I'm just not as cold. But like I feel like I couldn't go outside without being all bundled up or else I'd die. Now I take my garbage out. It's only like 100 steps to the dumpster recycling, but I take my garbage out. Like I'll take my garbage out in like a t-shirt and shorts in the snow and it doesn't really bother me.
I'm not built for this fucking cold shit anymore, dude. I'll tell you that. Like when I was younger, not even that long ago, maybe like fucking like 5-6 years ago, I was okay with it, dude. Now it's I don't know, man.
Well, because when you're a kid, school gets canceled and shit.
Right, you have like benefits of it.
Unless it's like one of those crazy snowstorms where they gotta bring the Buffalo Bills fans to shovel snow. Unless it's some crazy shit like that, we're always going to work no matter what.
Right? Yeah, you don't get snow days as an adult, dude.
It is.
What was that? There was one that we had one bad storm. We got what was it? We got like 3.5 foot of snow in a day, and like people like that was the only time that like Bank of America like they're like, all right, y'all can go home.
Closed
at like 1:30. They shut the whole thing down, bro.
I remember.
They let my one uncle Scott, one of my grandmother, they let him out of work like super late, and he was struggling to get home, and like I don't know if he was homeless or whatever. There's some dude, he was like a hustler and shit, and he was like, yo, he's like, I'll dig your he's like, yo, I'll dig your tires out so you can get out, and he thought he was being nice. He's like, all right, and he's like, all right, yo, that'll be like $20, and he's like, what the fuck, dude? I never agreed to pay you.
You finessed him. And where'd the background go? Oh, there it is.
There we go. I must have hit a
glitch or something.
Button or something.
It's crazy. Week 1 of this year. Who did we play? I don't even remember. Oh, we played the Giants week 1 of this year with Daniel Jones, and now Daniel Jones is a Viking.
Yeah.
Week 1 of this year.
Yeah.
I did not think we would be playing for the 1 seed. And even if we don't get the 1 seed, we will have 14 wins. I did not expect us to get. See, I was never a doubter. I was never a doubter of Sam Darnold, but I expected like 10-7, and that's pretty good.
Right? Yeah, you have like reasonable expectations heading.
I was never
weren't like we're going to dominate the league. Yeah,
I saw people keep digging up old tweets from like the spring when we signed him, and someone put one that was like, "Oh, yeah, that's a terrible signing. They should trade for Mac Jones."
Yeah, well, coming into, like Mac Jones, I thought he was going to have like a better year, a little bit more decent than he's had, but obviously that didn't fucking happen.
He's just not.
Me and Sully Mac were talking about that actually. How every year there's always one flash in the pan quarterback.
Yeah.
Each year, like Mac Jones was the one a couple years ago. Then Anthony Richardson last year. Now he's not.
Well, Anthony Richardson until he got hurt last year. I mean, it was more Stroud. Yeah. It was more Stroud last year because he took him to the playoffs his rookie year.
True, and like I don't think Stroud has had a bad year. I just think that he performed so well in his rookie year.
He set the bar, and everybody What was that?
Yeah. I mean, his numbers they're not that far off from what he had.
Yeah, I mean, he just set a bar pretty high. So then it's hard to, that's just the world. That's just fans. That's just the media. That's everybody,
Yeah.
Like people dog, on whether it's NBA or NFL or whatever, like what a number one, because think about it, whether it's NBA or NFL or whatever, the number 1 pick in the draft isn't always going to be a Hall of Famer. Sometimes he's not always going to be a generational player. Sometimes he's just going to be a good player that's an all-star or whatever. Like, and like a lot, like, I don't excuse like the poor play of an athlete, but at the same time, they didn't fucking ask to be chosen number 1, at the end of the day.
Right. And also, when you're number 1, you're going to a horrible fucking team, dude.
Yeah, at least in the NFL.
Right. So, like, I get like, I get the expectations of a number 1 pick. I get it. But I have noticed that like the patience in this league is like gone, dude.
It really is. I mean,
to let these kids like even like develop. It's like if you're not 4-1 after fucking 5 weeks, they're like, all right, dude. Yeah. Like, come on, bro. Like,
now it's
like fucking 2-12 or some shit.
Think about like what, like I always think of like Alex Smith. He was on the 49ers for like 6 fucking years before he and them were finally good. I mean, it's like when they brought Jim Harbaugh in, but and then he went on to have some good years on the Chiefs and then a couple on the Redskins before he fucked up his leg. But like now a lot of times, like I'm glad that like both Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold have shown like, hey, sometimes it takes, instead of 2 years, like we've been led to believe, sometimes it takes 5 or 6 years and being on an actual, not a fucking poverty organization to be great.
Well, when it comes to Baker Mayfield, the Browns treated him like shit, dude.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, he took him to the playoffs and then they ditched his ass.
He won their first playoff game since like 1970 something, dude.
Yeah, when they were the old Ravens Browns.
Yeah. And you chase the guy out of town. It's fucked up.
For Deshaun Watson, who's played like 6 games in 2 years.
It's because he's not getting those massage appointments, dude.
Do you remember when? Remember when they signed Brock Osweiler to that? No, that was the Texans. They signed Brock Osweiler to that giant contract and then dumped him the next year.
Yeah, and like I kind of think that was their thinking going in with the Deshaun contract in a way, maybe.
Yeah,
but you guys set yourself up to where it can't be that way.
Yeah, if you dump
him into that fucking thing, dude.
Yeah, if you dump him after this year, you still got to pay him.
Right.
Kind of like how maybe next year, if we lose Sam Darnold, we can fucking sign Daniel Jones for next to nothing because he's still getting paid by New York for like 3 more years, and he can compete with McCarthy and maybe win the starting job, and McCarthy can sit there with the clipboard and have his real rookie experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I seen a post too maybe a couple days ago, maybe, and it was when fucking Baker and Darnold were on the Panthers.
Yeah, they're on the Panthers together.
Yeah,
and then the Panthers released Baker because he was playing poorly, and then Stafford was out for the rest of the season in LA, and then remember he signed with the Rams like that last month of the season and tore it up pretty good, and then that's how he got his chance with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, you're right. But, like, I don't even blame those 2 quarterbacks, Baker and Darnold, or, like, anybody for playing bad on the Panthers. Like, what do you have?
Yeah, they're about
what the fuck, dude?
Surprisingly,
you gotta have something to work with.
Surprisingly, they've been to the Super Bowl twice. I think twice. Broncos
with
Broncos and Patriots.
Yep, the one with fucking Cam Newton when he ran away from the ball.
Yeah.
Fumble. And then the one that they lost in the field goal.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I think that was the first. That was one of the first Super Bowls I remember watching. And was that back when Jake Delhomme was their quarterback?
It was. Yep.
Yeah, he was an undrafted dude, but he tore it up for them for years. Him and Steve Smith, Jonathan Stewart.
Well, they had a good team.
Williams.
They had a good team.
When I was a kid, I used to think their alternate blue jerseys were really cool.
They were.
I don't know. I don't think they wear them anymore. I think they just
wear
the
don't.
black.
Yeah, they wear the black and the whites. That's it. What the fuck? C-SPAN's really doing a rewind. They're showing the presidential debate against Biden and fucking Trump on C-SPAN right now.
Like the live, rebroadcast of it?
Yeah.
Why would anybody want to? That was from like the end of June. Why would
no, dude, it's the one from 2020. What the fuck are they doing, bro?
Come on, don't you have better shit? Don't you have better shit to put on? I feel like that's something you should put on during the Super Bowl when nobody's fucking watching anything except the Super Bowl.
Like, I'd rather have the show where the people call in, like do the prank calls and shit.
Yeah. Wait, was that really a thing?
Yeah, dude. So people would call in. And like, well, I mean, it wasn't meant to be a prank call. So
I can imagine. Like I've seen those
the those clips, right?
Yeah, I've seen those clips of like those Christian radio.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining something like that.
Yeah. So they would call in and then like they'd be like, they'd act like they were talking really about politics. And they'd be like, I think it's really messed up that like Bill Clinton does.
Well,
like,
did you know
their balls? And like they'd be like, oh, here's another one.
Did you know? Rest in peace. In 2016, during the first Trump campaign, you know who called into InfoWars while drunk?
Who?
Phil, online WWE man. Yeah, I don't know. The clip's probably gone, but I remember because that's back before Alex Jones was banned on everything. So like his live show was it was archived on YouTube like our show. So one of my like friends at the time, this dude named Tom, who was from England, who was in our little group, he's like, dude, Phil was on InfoWars last night. And then he's like, skip to the 30-minute mark or whatever. And then he was. And then like a couple days later, he called me on the phone. He's like, yeah, I shouldn't have got drunk before I called into InfoWars. Do you remember the guy who dumped coffee on Alex Jones in Seattle?
Yeah. When he was out in Seattle. Yeah.
I don't know if you ever noticed, but that dude is wearing like a wrestling shirt.
Really?
And even funnier, I technically am a friend of that guy who lives here in Yakima. He's like, somehow this guy, I know he's older than me. He's like 50 now, but like there'll be so many random times he'll be like, hey, remember the guy who dumped coffee on Alex Jones in Seattle? Oh, that's my friend Lewis or some shit. And then like be like, and then if you notice, he's wearing like one of those WWE like ring crew shirts, and for like
people who set up the ring and shit.
Yeah, where it says like the pay-per-view on it, like Battleground or some shit, and then it says like event staff or whatever. And it's a blurry video, but you could tell he's wearing that. And he's like, he runs some wrestling shit in Seattle and all this stuff.
Wow. Yeah, I'll never forget that clip. And like, the 2016 Alex Jones show, I'll never forget, because like that election was probably, well, at the time it was more important than this last one. I think this last one is more important than that one, but at the time it was a huge election. And like, I'll never forget, I was living with my grandmother at the time, and I was in the back room playing MLB. I think it might have been, but yeah, it was MLB 16. I was playing Road to the Show, and I was locked in on Alex Jones, dude. Just fucking locked in, dude.
Yeah.
Never forget that shit, dude. It was a good show.
I think the first time I ever watched Alex Jones was, so when I was a kid, like, teen, like high school, I used to always hear and see like, oh, rappers, Illuminati, oh,
so
scary. So I used to like go on YouTube and like search these videos and shit, like
conspiracy and shit
about it. Yeah, like that guy Mark Dice. Right? And I used to always feel like, oh, this is so crazy, so scary. And then I think that's somehow how I found Alex Jones. And then I think I remember, like, I actually watched, like, that full documentary about him supposedly sneaking into Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, he did, bro. And he did it again, too.
He did it again? I never saw it.
Yeah, he ended up doing it not too long ago again. I think it was 2024. This year he did it.
I've seen some TikTok videos of people who have gone there and, like, gone up close to, like, that owl and shit. Yeah. But, like, when nobody's there, because, like, that weird thing where the politicians go there is like only in the summer for like a week. Other than that, like nobody's ever there. So like some dude like snuck in and like was right next to the owl.
Yeah, this one had like people there and they're like hiding in the woods and shit, dude. You see if I can find this shit. Because if I can play it without sound, it'll play normally, I think. Kind of like that Dave Blunt's fucking yeah, exactly.
When I'm dying and on the ventilator is helping me breathe, they just got to put that video on a loop, whether that's in 80 years or 10 or whatever. They just got to do that. I gotta start writing my will, and I'm actually gonna write that in like my will or my last wishes or whatever.
Yeah, yo, we may be like at that time. We may be at the point where like they could just like fucking broadcast it like directly to you. All right, I have the clip.
We'll have the chips in our brains, so yeah. All right, we'll have like the Cyclops thing, so we can we are.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Here it is. Let's see, bro. I'll turn the sound off here. But, yeah, see them like marching with their shit and stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Let me pull it from the beginning here.
And then they do that thing where they burn the effigy where it like looks like a person, but it's not really a person.
Yeah, dude, look, this is clear-cut footage, bro. See, they're like in the woods and shit, dude.
See the footage from the first documentary is from like 2000, so it's grainy and old and shit. That's fucking HD right there.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And like security, I wish we could play it with sound because like security starts. You can probably see the security walking around. And they almost spot the guy, and he gets freaked out and he leaves.
Dude, I would you'd have to pay me like upwards of a fucking $1 million to. They'll probably chase me down and fucking inject me with some shit.
Some kind of like memory wiping thing.
Yeah. You know what you would also have to pay me upwards of $1 million to do is to stand outside in Times Square for the New Year's shit tonight.
Yeah, and here's a clip from the one you were talking about.
Yeah, that's the Moloch owl, and that's why they say what they do about Drake, because they're like, why does Drake have an owl on all of his shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of shit to look into here. Oh wait, here's a 1 minute one. I think this might be the full clip of the dude walking in there.
Yeah, this is the one I've seen. This is the one I've seen where it's all empty.
Okay.
Because he shines his flashlight like right on the owl. I'd go to that Bohemian Grove.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I'd be fine with that one. Let's get off here. But yeah, that was like the clearest. Holy shit, dude, we got 17 people in this motherfucker. What is good, y'all?
Real nonsense rockin' New Year's. I didn't notice that. Rest in peace, Clark.
Yeah, for real. I got the CNN feed on here.
I gotta turn it on. I got some basketball on, but it's the end of the game.
They got some guy. It looks like a young fucking Rudy Giuliani out here with a bag on his cell. I don't know what the fuck he's supposed to be.
Oh, but as I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it on here.
So I couldn't actually hear what he was saying to me earlier. So it was.
Right. As I was saying earlier, another thing that you would have to pay me upwards of $1 million to do is to stand out there in Times Square on New Year's Eve, and like do it the right way, where you have to stand there for like 18 fucking hours to.
Right. Yeah, that came up at work. I guess it's not free.
Oh,
it's like $100 a ticket, bro.
To just fucking stand there?
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
I can go to an NBA game or a hockey game for $100 and get good seats. But to stand there in the fucking cold, and you can't even go to the bathroom because none of the restaurants or anything around it allow you to. So people wear fucking adult diapers to stand there for like 17 hours.
Yeah, 100%. Happy New Year's, Sully Mac. Cheers, buddy.
Yeah, I got that caffeine right now, but I got the champagne on ice, literally.
That's right. Oh shit, 50 Cent is hanging out with CNN now.
I got it on too. I saw the clip of 50 Cent is having like his own Vegas residency, but it's not like when Britney Spears did, when all these other people do. They typically do like 100 dates, but the 50 Cent one's only 7 days. It's only 7 concerts, and it's like it's just like hot garbage. Like the sound is horrible. He's horrible.
Yeah, someone put up a clip that he was awful.
Yeah, I saw a TikTok on it yesterday.
Yeah. So
there's a Twilight Zone.
Yeah, Twilight Zone.
I've been seeing some Twilight Zone shit come up on my recommended. I want to get on that because like that's a show that like even though it's old as fuck from like the 60s,
it's still genius.
It holds up really well.
Yeah. It really
I remember like honestly, I've only been to Disney World once, but like the Tower of Terror, like all cliche shit aside, that's like my favorite ride, like solely because it's based on Twilight Zone shit. And when you're like going up and shit, there's like cool visuals of like the Twilight Zone and all this stuff.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like that was like I went there when I was 14, so 14 years ago, and it's crazy. So like when you're on the ride, like you can feel yourself like going up, and there's like they're playing this like visual of the Twilight Zone and shit, and then all of a sudden it goes black, and you know you're at the top, and then this thing like opens, and you can just see the whole fucking the whole Disney World park, and then you just fucking drop down
right down, right? Like
you drop down so fast that you like lift up, but your seatbelt, your buckle like holds you in.
We used to have this roller coaster out here. Well, not really out here. It was in Darien Lake, probably like an hour from here. But they used to have, it was like a wooden roller coaster called the Viper. And like you could hear, like you were going up, you could hear like each like every time the wheel hits the wood.
Yeah.
You could like hear it like click, 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 click. And it like added to like, you know, like the anticipation, like, oh fuck.
Yeah, whenever you go on you can hear that when you're going on a roller coaster and you're going up. Yeah.
He says, I think they replaced it with a Marvel themed ride, but yeah, that was my favorite ride too. I think they probably I think I did hear about them taking it off.
What confuses me is maybe I'm just dumb, but like is Marvel like Disney and Universal at the same time or something?
Yeah.
Because that always confused me. Because I'm like when I went to Disney World, like obviously there's Universal Studios in Orlando too, but like I'm going in all the little shops and shit. I'm like, why is there all this Marvel shit? Like, isn't that supposed to be like Universal? And
No,
like what I would get is like
Disney owns Marvel.
Yeah, when I went to when I went to Universal in California a couple years ago with Sis, there's like the whole like Simpsons Land part, and like I'm like it always confused me because I'm like, why is Simpsons on Disney Plus when it's like a Fox thing? Like I don't know that shit. The whole merger, Disney just owns the whole world, I guess, because they own ESPN too.
Yeah, they own Hulu,
ESPN, they just
Fox.
And isn't it crazy that, I mean, we've talked about this before, that something that started as a DVD through the mail rental service is now broadcasting WWE and the NFL. And something else that started as a website to buy books on is broadcasting NFL games. Like, that's just like, do you think when Jeff Bezos started that in what, like the late 90s, do you think that, like, even like to me, like I remember the first time I heard of Amazon was like 2006, and it like even then it still felt like this taboo website. And like now it's like, do you think when he started it in I think the late 90s that he would be broadcasting NFL games on it? I can't
never could have dreamed that. You know, like in his wildest dreams, he probably would have been like, you know, we're gonna be a huge company and people order everything from us. Like I can see that.
Yeah,
but
I can see
like, yo, we're gonna broadcast NFL games and fucking, you know, like you couldn't have seen that coming, dude.
And like
honestly, I think Amazon is probably the most popular company in the world. Like, almost everyone you know has a Prime subscription.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever
like NASCAR? Really? They're getting into NASCAR? Wow.
Wow. What was I saying? Have you ever been in one of those Amazon grocery stores? Do they have any over there?
No.
They have one. They have one in Seattle. They have them in Seattle. I've been to one before. It was only because it was when my boy Angel flew up here and we went to Seattle for like 3 days, and we were just walking in downtown Seattle, and it's crazy. So all you do is you bring up like the Prime app or the Amazon app on your phone, and it scans you in, and it's like going to a baseball game or the fair with the turnstile, like the clink, clink, clink. Yeah. So you scan it, and then that lets you in, and then you just grab your shit, and then you just walk back out. Like it somehow detects your debit card in your pocket, and then you grab your shit, and then you just walk right out, and the door's open for you.
That's crazy. I was gonna make a racial joke, but I won't. Let's see. Selly Mac.
I can see that from a mile away.
Okay, so Selly Mac is right. Yeah, Amazon Prime Video to open its 2025 race coverage with Coca-Cola 600. Let's see. May 25th, Memorial Day weekend. Oh, wow. I'm wondering, like, what kind of technology they're going to bust out for NASCAR, because, like, the technology they have for the NFL shit is impressive. Like, you can watch the game, like you know, like you're playing Madden. Like, they have that.
Yeah. Like, I can't remember what game. Oh, it was one of those Saturday games a few weeks ago. Like, I didn't really care about who was playing, but so I just watched it on that, like, alternative broadcast where it's, like, Ocho Cinco and some other dude.
Yeah.
As if it's Madden.
Yeah. And, like, you know, they just do some cool shit with, like, the stats and stuff. Like, I like that they offer something completely different than what you get on any other network.
Yeah.
And they can do that because the technology that they're using is like Prime runs off either your smart TV or your Fire Stick. So it's a little different than network TV. Like Fox can't do what they do. You can't hit a button on your remote and be like, okay, like how many yards was that ball in the air for? But Prime can do that because that's their service. Like they're bouncing off of your shit you already have.
Yeah. And another one is YouTube. Because think about YouTube in like 2000, like YouTube, all I thought YouTube was good for in 2006 when I was 10 years old was watching rap videos, old sports videos, and then
or like the new viral shit.
Yeah, the new like the fucking Numa guy, or like some kid fucking falling down on his bike, or two fat guys fighting, or some shit like that, you know. And now YouTube now YouTube basically runs cable. I mean,
And
I have YouTube TV. I mean, me and my family have like a shared account and shit, but that's what I use. And like, when they created YouTube in 2005, I doubt that's what they thought, that it was going to be like the go. Oh, well, I mean, legally, you can't watch out of market NFL games without fucking YouTube TV.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because they have the Sunday ticket now. That's the other thing too. Like, can you imagine them being like, one day we're gonna have the NFL Sunday ticket? Like,
we're gonna own the NFL, basically. Like, I mean, unless you have your ways, which I'm not talking about say, or you want to go to fucking Buffalo Wild Wings every fucking week and watch it. I remember my dad was telling me, like, before cable was a thing, like in like the 80s, like because like in the 80s my parents lived away from Minnesota, like they lived in like New Mexico and Chicago and shit. So like you only got the local game. So like my dad would always tell me that like he'd have to go to this one fucking bar in town every Sunday in Albuquerque, New Mexico to watch the Vikings game.
Yeah, and one thing that tripped me out, bro, the dude who created NFL Sunday Ticket is dude from Bar Rescue.
Shut that bar down. Shut that shit down.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just like, it was like I seen it on Twitter. I thought it was like someone.
Yeah, you texted me. You were like, he founded NFL Sunday Ticket, and I was like, honestly, I didn't even think he was like relevant as a person until he was on Bar Rescue. I'd never even heard of him until he was on fucking Bar Rescue.
Yeah, but I mean, shout outs to him, dude. I mean, like at first he created it for like the commercial purpose of bringing business into bars. Yeah, but then extended to like, what if we offer this to people? People might pay $400 a year because that's what it was, dude. Because I used to have my mom. I used to beg my mom to get it for me for Christmas. And like, I'm a Dallas fan. I didn't need it, bro.
You really didn't need it. You would have got it. You would have got it like 13 out of the 16 games a year.
Right. Yeah.
And then the 3 that you didn't, you could have gone to Buffalo Wild Wings or some shit for. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like no matter what they can only flex out the night game. They can't really. Well, I guess they flex the Vikings into the later game, but I mean, most of the time they don't really flex like the regular afternoon game. So like. Right. Yeah, I mean, typically, no matter what the Cowboys' record is, like they get the mainstream slot 13 weeks out.
And then especially, I live in New York, so that's 2 guaranteed because we play the Giants. So there's another 2 guaranteed for that. Then you have a Thanksgiving game. There's 3. You have the Sunday night games.
You got a couple Mondays, couple Sundays.
Yep. Yeah.
No matter what.
It wasn't like I'm like a Dolphins fan. I'm like, I never get to see my team. Like,
or a fucking Chargers fan or a Jacksonville fan or some shit.
But she would still get it for me. And
I mean,
they would like at least DirecTV. I guess NFL. I don't know how they do it for YouTube, but DirecTV, they used to be decent about it and be like, all right, we'll split it up from September to December. So you pay like an extra $100.
They still try to like cut you deals and all that shit when you try to cancel it because they want to keep you. But like, I don't know. I'm just thankful that my dad is passionate enough that since before I was alive and we've lived out of market besides when I was born, basically, other than that, we've lived out of the Minnesota market my whole life. So like, I'm just thankful that like my dad's just crazy passionate enough to buy all the fucking packages every year so I can watch all the games,
I'm gonna see if Pat answers me, dude.
It's New Year's. He's at the gay club. He's with Vito.
Oh shit! There was one gay bar around here. What the fuck was it called, yo? Oh shit! The name is mad funny, dude.
What's a guy got to do to get you to buy you a drink? Hey, do you remember that one time when I went to a gay club for that girl's birthday?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he had the best time, dude.
You texted Pat and you were like, he said he's gonna have a blast. So like, I went to this shit. I went to this gay club, and I'm gonna get exposed and canceled for this when we're famous. But listen, for context, this girl who I fucked like 2 days before invited me out to her little birthday, and it was at a gay club, and I went there, and I'm like, I just wanted to like see it, like. and I looked around. And there was like I'd look in one direction, and I wouldn't look in that direction again. Like I was out of there within an hour. Like that shit was like too fucking much for me.
Yeah, because he's like, has he ever been in one before? I'm like, no. You better be prepared, dude.
It was not like the slimy like underground Soprano shit. It was like decent enough, like mainstream. Yeah. But it was like I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
Never fucking again. But it makes for a good story. But like never fucking again.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's something you gotta experience at least once.
Yeah. And I did, and it was funny because like even if people make fun of me, like I'm just like, yo, it's like the fucking Sopranos.
Yeah.
I went in there dressed like this. I didn't fucking
leather chaps and shit on, dude.
What's a guy gotta do to get you a drink?
Yeah, you went home and had some Johnny cakes. Yeah, dude.
Smile, hey. Smile, hey. It's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke.
Yeah, it's a gag.
Remember that scene when he's on the run and he's like doing that like farm work for that dude? And then he's like, it's basically like saying his thoughts out loud. And he's like, if I do this, then 2 hours will go by. And then he looks at his watch and like,
it's like 10 minutes
went by.
Yeah.
And then I think it's funny is like when Notre Dame played in that playoff game, like 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah. There's that scene in Sopranos where Vito is wearing that Notre Dame
hat, right?
And I always post that like when Notre Dame's like in the playoffs. And I'll never forget, I posted it one time and someone responded to me. They're like, I love how the Notre Dame hat just capped off his laying low look. His hidden secret what's the word, like his undercover look.
His down low personality, dude. DL personality. Fucking the funniest shit is like when he walks up to Tony and they're like in that they're in like the food court in the mall or whatever, and he's like, I was off my meds. So he's like, this new medicine is fucking with me, and he's like, like, dude, that's the worst excuse. Like, no medicine's gonna make you do that.
Gonna make you gay, except meth.
Yeah. Like, come on, bro.
Only meth's gonna make you gay.
True. That is true, dude.
What was that? I saw something where it was like, I keep seeing it on like Facebook, like all those stupid groups keep posting it, where it's like some dude masturbated like 100 times in a day or something. And it was on that Dark Side of the Spoon page, and they're like, I feel like a few of you meth addicts in here probably already beat his record.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I've only done it once by accident, and like I bring that up, and people are like, "Yo."
Everyone I know personally who's done it has said they've done it on accident. True, like for example, one of my friends who like this was years ago. This is like 2019. One of my friends it was back when I used to do stand up, and we would go after we performed. We would go to this like kind of biker bar down the street, and just it was like the after party kind of thing. And he was drinking, and I was like, "Hey, aren't you quitting drinking?" And he was like, "Yeah, but I made a poor choice." And then he told me like the next week what that poor choice was, and he was like, "Yeah, I accidentally snorted some coke that had some meth in it."
See, mine was different, bro. I was trying to get some Molly, and stupid me, like instead of just like I wanted it so like this is something you should never do when you're doing drugs. Like always stay with people you trust, even if they don't have it at that time. Just wait it out, dude. Just wait. But stupid me could not wait it out. So I'm like, yo, listen, man. I'm looking. He's like, yeah, I got some, dude. And he brought it over. And the thing with meth is it looks very similar.
Yeah.
To Molly. So I crushed this shit up, bro. I'm like, whatever, dude. And I like, whatever, do a bump of this shit. And as soon as like it hit the back of my throat, I'm like, oh fuck, dude.
How did you know?
It burned.
Oh, and what? Regular Coke doesn't burn?
No, so like Molly's like nothing.
Or Molly, I mean not Coke, Molly.
Coke won't burn, but like you definitely know like I made a joke in group therapy when I was in there, and I was like, yo, I can never get my house painted again. And this one dude looked at me, and he was like an OG cokehead. He's like, what's that supposed to mean? But like, everyone my age got it, dude. They're like, yeah, dude, you're right. Because yeah.
Go ahead. Well, I mean, at least you didn't smoke a cockroach or whatever.
No, a bed bug.
A bed bug.
Yeah.
God, a cockroach would have been kind of normal.
Yeah, I'll get into
I even smoke a bed bug. They're like that fucking big.
Bro, she said that she tore the fucking hotel up. It was in like some seedy hotel. They had like news reports on that it was so dirty.
Like a fucking Fleabag prostitute episode of Cops type motel.
Yeah. And she like intentionally, she purposely went there to find a bed bug.
That's so she paid for. Well, I mean, those shitty hotels don't cost that much. They probably cost like $80 tops for a night. But like she paid for a hotel for a night, or maybe those shady ones they rent like by the hour. But anyway, she paid some sort of rate of like 50 or more. Paid the deposit, all that shit to find a fucking bed bug.
Yeah, because she was in drug court, so she couldn't fail a drug test.
She couldn't what?
So she was in drug court. So like if she would have done actual, she would have failed the drug test. So she was so hard up that she was looking for fucking like anything to get high, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I read on like Reddit or something that bed bugs will get you high." And I'm sitting there like, "Holy shit, dude! Where is my life at? To where I'm sitting next to this fucking lady, dude? What is going on with my life?" Dude?
It comes with good storytelling.
But as far as the meth shit goes, right? Like I took a bump of that shit, dude, and like of course the dude left before. Like, I'm not gonna do drugs in front of the guy that gave it to me. I mean, I guess I could, but I don't do that. So he left, and I'm like, all right, bro, let's get down to business. You know what I mean? Crushing this shit up. And I do a bump, and like as soon as I did it, I'm like, oh fuck, dude, because it burned. Like it felt like what I would imagine sniffing gasoline.
Yeah,
like it burned like that, dude. I'm like, okay, this ain't normal. And the only thing I've ever heard about meth is like, yo, it burns, and that's why people don't fucking sniff it. I mean, like any drug, if you snort it, it's unless you inject it. So like injecting it is like. That's the fastest way to get a high. Yeah. The second way,
John Travolta, Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, I mean you could boof it actually, but I ain't doing that shit, bro. But so like sniffing it is like a really good way because it gets right into your bloodstream, like boom. So because Molly, I'm pretty sure I told you this before, but like the high changes on depending on how you do it. So you can eat it and it's like a body high, and if you snort it, it's a head high. So me and Savannah would do fucking both, bro. We'd be like, all right, we're gonna start sniffing, then we're just gonna eat it and shit. It would be rocking like all night, bro. But this shit was not Molly, bro. And like I'm sitting there and like my neck keeps doing this shit. I look like the fucking like the Thriller video, dude. I kept going like,
your chin like the fucking Molly jaw.
Yeah, I went down to see Tasha and she's like, yo, are you okay? And I ended up getting it off her cousin. She like called her cousin. She started yelling at him, dude. And she's like, you don't give him none of that shit. And she started like freaking out on him, dude. And she'd be like, you gave him bad shit. He don't want that. And like started freaking out on him, dude. It's fucked up, man. And she's like, throw it away. I was like, no, I spent money on it, dude. I'm not gonna fucking throw it away.
Going back to the topic of the smoking the bed bug, I guess this kind of relates to it because it reminds me of so North First Street in Yakima is like a mini fucking Skid Row. Like it's fucking awful. Yeah. And there was a point in time, even 5 or 10 years ago, even though it was shit and there was crackheads and shit everywhere, there's a few nice restaurants down there. There's like Red Lobster and there was a few other places down there at a time. The Red Lobster's still there. I don't know the other places are. But there used to be this nice brunch place we used to go to, but you would still look outside and see fucking crackheads walking.
Yeah.
I saw this guy and I was a kid, so like I didn't really know. And he kept kneeling over and picking up like cigarette butts. And I was like, what the fuck's he doing? And my dad's like, he's picking up all the cigarette butts so he can put them together to then smoke one long thing of cigarette butts.
Yeah, yo, I've seen shit like that, dude. Yeah, I've seen shit like that. We don't have like a dedicated homeless area. They're like scattered around the city.
I mean, they used to only be like they're really bad, like Skid Row, where there's like tents and shit, is where I was talking about. But I mean now like around like even like fucking 1 block from my apartment, there'll be like some panhandlers or whatever, like not dangerous people, but then like in the hood and shit, 15-20 minutes away is where the fucking people pushing shopping carts and the tents are and shit like that.
I wonder if Monty's gonna have like a commune to step into, bro.
What do you mean?
Like a homeless community.
Yeah, imagine if imagine. Well, I guess it's not hot anymore because it's the winter. But remember that the scene in Beavis and Butthead Do America where they're out in the desert and then it turns into that Rob Zombie music video. Yeah. And then the fucking Bruce Willis character, they come back to Earth, and then fucking the Bruce Willis character has his gun pointed at him.
Yeah.
I could watch that movie every other day and never get bored of it. What's funny is when I was a kid, I think I first got introduced to Beavis and Butthead when I was 4 or 5. So
me too as a kid. And the thing that drew me to it was because of the music videos too. They pick on music videos.
Yeah, that was, what's funny is, so I remember the first time I think I ever watched Beavis and Butthead. Well, actually, what's crazy is my grandparents, so my grandpa, his whole teaching or his whole career, he was a math teacher, but in his last few years before he retired, he was a computer guy. He worked for Hewlett Packard and shit. So he loved back in the 90s, early 2000s, he liked playing computer games and shit. And when I would go to my grandparents' house in Minnesota, they had this Beavis and Butthead computer game called Virtual Stupidity.
Yeah.
And I thought that shit was the coolest thing. And my grandparents, they still have it in their house now because they never moved. They still live in the same house. In their computer room, because they still have one of those.
Yeah.
They have this big thing of cork board with newspaper clippings and just keepsakes of Vikings and Twins and Timberwolves. But I'll never forget they have this cutout thing of Beavis and Butthead. So I probably saw that for the first time when I was 3 years old. Yeah. And then I remember the first time I ever remember watching it was when I lived in Arizona as a kid. There used to be a Blockbuster a block from my house. And I remember my dad would take me there all the time to rent movies and show and shit. And they had a Beavis and Butthead DVD with some episodes. Yeah. And I remember he rented that and he showed it to me and I was 4 or 5 years old. And he's here. And then this part, they watch music videos and talk about them. And I thought it was the coolest shit ever. And then, my mom, it's funny, my mom would always not really, but try to be that protective mom that's not going to subject her kids to violent video games and violent shows and shit. So my mom used to always be no, they can't watch that. And argue with my dad. No, they can't watch that. So then I remember
it reminds me of a story, bro, when you're done.
So I remember as a kid, when I moved to Washington when I was 7 was when we got the original DVR TiVo.
Yeah.
And they used to show Beavis and Butthead a lot in syndication on MTV before they played fucking ridiculousness 18 hours a day. Right. And so I used to record it when I was 7 years old. And what's funny is my mom never liked me watching it. But I would, and then I would wait till my mom was at work, and then I would watch it over the same fucking episodes over and over again. Yeah. And then I remember the first time I remember watching the movie Do America, it was I think back in the day you could just on DirecTV, even before on demand, before streaming or anything, you could buy pay-per-view movies for $3 on DirecTV. And I remember my dad did that for me, and I was so excited. And then my mom made me do all these chores in order to watch it. And then years later, just for a throw-in Christmas gift, I got it on DVD. And then now I have it on DVD. I have it on streaming. But there's so much tied to that movie that there's so much sentimental value that movie has in my life.
Yeah. And the one they put out was a couple years ago on Paramount Plus. That shit was funny as shit too, dude.
The outer space one?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they fucking break up and then Beavis cries and shit.
It's the one where they go to college and they learn they got white privilege and they go out and steal a cop car.
Isn't there two? Is there one or two of them?
I don't know.
Because there's the one called Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe where they're in space.
That's the one.
Is it that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Because I heard not only are they bringing back another season for Paramount, but they're also gonna do another movie, I guess.
Good, because Mike Judge is awesome, dude. But that what you were saying about your mom not wanting you to watch stuff, that reminds me of my one friend Dale, and his dad was super protective of him, to where he could come over and like if he liked the music I listened to, I would have to record it on a tape and like pause it on the cuss words and like make like an edited version for him, right? So I'm trying to think of what movie we were watching. I think it was like Scary Movie or something. I think, and we were over there, like my parents were over there, and we were over the house or whatever, and we rented Scary Movie, and like everybody knew that his dad was like super uptight about like cuss words and shit, dude. Yeah. And we're watching the movie, and his dad comes in to like grab a beer or something, and as he's walking through, like there's like people calling each other assholes and motherfuckers.
Yeah, was this the guy where he was like, I heard a couple.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's like, he steps outside and he's like, I don't know about that movie, guys. I heard a couple of assholes in there.
That was kind of like I had so kind of reminds me of so my first house I lived in here in elementary school. Yeah. Like a year, after like a year of living here, we got these neighbors like 2 houses down who they had moved here from like Montana. Yeah. And the older kid was in my grade and the younger kid was like between me and my brother. So we would go over there and like play baseball and do all kinds of shit and play basketball and shit. But it was funny, like we would wear like sports jerseys and shit. We would wear like sports like Twins shirts or Viking shirts. Like, we would wear all these brands and shit and like talk about these shows like The Simpsons, and they had like no idea what any of it was because like their parents were like as fucking PC as you could possibly get. Yeah, and then like it was just funny because like that was like the one house like where we couldn't swear at. Yeah, because, like my parents kind of caught on to it, and they're like. Don't go over there and talk about The Simpsons. Don't talk about this. Don't talk about rappers over there and all this stuff. And then eventually they kind of and then that was back in like 2005 when Punk'd was really popular. Okay, and that was considered naughty to kids. So like that was another show. Like my brother was like talking about, remember on Punk? Because my brother was like 5 and I was like, my brother was like 6 and I was like 8. Yeah. And my brother was like talking about the show Punk'd, and I'm like, shut up, we can't talk about that here. Like the mom like overheard me and was like, oh no, that's the show where they like trick you and prank you and stuff. But like they didn't even know what The Simpsons was. Like that's how
were they like super religious?
No, they weren't religious. They weren't religious at all. They were just like super like just pretentious and like politically correct. I guess I don't know. And they were like super smart and shit. Like the dad was like a fucking surgeon or some shit.
I have a theory that like these people that grow up with like no sense of humor, I think it's because like that's why. Because their parents don't expose them to like stuff like The Simpsons and like Family Guy, Beavis and Butthead. Like, and they grow up to be like these crunchy fucking no sense of humor having, don't know how to have fun. Like they're always uptight all the time. Like I think that's why, dude.
Yeah, and like I'm not saying like, because like I know. Like,
see, Sully Mac.
Yeah, and what's funny is the dad would never like watch show. Like we would go in their house and like play video games and hang out and shit. And the dad would always be fucking watching Mad Money on MSNBC. That's all I ever
lost Mad Money listening to that. He probably lost Mad Money listening to that fucking guy.
But what's funny is like my parents and their parents were friends. They kind of still are. And this was like probably right when I graduated high school, or maybe a little bit before. My dad told me this story and he's like, did you know that guy fucked the older son's mom and all this stuff? We were going to get divorced, but then they pulled back on the last second. And me and my brother are like, what the fuck? And then my dad never like reacts like this, but he was like, oh my God, I shouldn't have fucking said that. He's like, because this is when my parents were divorced, but like they're still cool. Like they're still cool to this day.
Yeah.
Like, don't fucking tell your mom that I told you that, and don't fucking repeat it. And I never did. And it was just funny because it's like, you raise your kids to be so politically correct and all this shit, and then you fucking are out here cheating on your wife.
Yeah, it's just like those holy roller people, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and another thing, like Lauren, for example, like she swears to be this fucking like Christian and shit, and it's like, okay, dude. Like, we've had pretty raunchy conversations in the past.
Yeah.
Where like you weren't acting very Christian. I'll tell you that.
And you said like those other times where like even I saw her TikTok that I came across randomly somehow, and it's like all this weird shit, like just so over the top, so overly sanitized. But then you tell me that she would tell you, "Oh, I'm shacked up in a hotel with a guy from Tinder." Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and like that was the last straw for me, dude. And then she had the nerve to be like, "Oh, because like that." So like when I said that to her, it was over the summer. It's when me and Jordan were like in the beginning stages of it not working out the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So I text her and I'm like, because she was in New York at the time.
Yeah, she was gonna maybe come over there or something like that. Yeah.
So I text her maybe a little too boldly, which I do sometimes. But
hey, what do you have to lose?
Right. Yeah. And she's like, well, aren't you involved with somebody? I never knew that you thought about me. I'm like, bitch, we've had conversations about how you like your technique of sucking dick. Don't fucking tell me that you didn't know. Don't fucking go there with me, dude. And it's just like the fucking like the church girl innocent bullshit you're trying to play with me.
And what's funny is I learned this too, that I used to think like, oh, if a girl goes to church, like she's great. Because I used to think, you know, not recently like this year, but you know, in the past, I used to think like, oh, it's like, oh, they were raised going to church and they fucking go to church with their family and shit on Sunday. But I'm like, oh no, it's this weird, I used to be a whore, but I got roped in by the swagged out mega church
drug dealer or something. Yeah.
In his fitted baseball hat and his Lamborghini and shit. Like there's this guy, I think I've talked about him on here before, who was like the OG mega church pastor here.
Yeah.
Like he spoke at my baccalaureate when I graduated high school, and it was so fucking corny. And like he would film his like sermons or whatever you call them, so like you could watch them on YouTube. And in the fucking video, you imagine how a pastor would look like with a shirt and tie or some shit like that.
Yeah.
You would wear like a sideways Mariners hat and like
you kidding me?
Some fit you would get at like PacSun or Zoomies or some shit. And I'm like, this is not church. This is some rap concert bullshit.
Yeah, like did he say the sermon with like slang and shit?
Yeah, well,
it was telling you about what the Lord said in Psalm 22.
No, it wasn't really like that, but it was just so like why should anybody take you serious? Like a church is supposed to be like a soft, like solemn place of worship, not a rap concert. Like I saw some video of some mega church in Texas or something, and it had like all these like theatrics, like I'm at the circus or some shit where there's some like it's a WWE Titantron with fireworks. There's some Santa sleigh like flying up into the air and shit. I feel like I'm at a cross between fucking WWE and Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah. Was it a mega church thing?
Yeah, it was some kind of mega church, like some kind of Joel. I don't think it was Joel Osteen, but it was.
Someone put something on Twitter on Christmas Eve, and they're like, I let my mom decide where we go on Christmas, and it was like a mega church, and he was like picking on, and everyone's like, yo, nah, bro, you chose to go to the mega church, like you're gonna get a show tonight, dude.
Yeah, I saw another one where someone, it was like a huge church because it was like they were sitting in like the upper deck, and someone like snuck a picture like of some guy in front of him, and he was like, the kid had like a backwards hat on, and someone was like, man, a backwards hat in Christmas Eve mass, I can't believe that. And then someone's like, man, you're at a mega church. The pastor's about to throw his Venmo QR code on the screen and then fucking fly away on a fucking jetpack.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna have like fucking like holograms and shit, like Coachella and shit, dude. They're gonna have Jesus.
They're gonna have a David and Goliath hologram and they're gonna have a nativity scene hologram.
That's what I'm saying, bro. With like they're gonna have like baby Jesus stand next to grown man Jesus and shit. Yeah. Like, come on, dude. Get the fuck out of here. But the church folk are wild.
Yeah, well, and going back to what you said, like how people like grow up to be fucked up because they grow up in these super PC, overly sanitized households. Yeah. Like I knew someone else, like I didn't know them personally, but they were someone like in my brother's grade, and my dad knew her dad from working or some shit. And he would say like his kids couldn't watch TV like at all. and they couldn't eat fucking sugar ever. And I'm like, look, don't raise your kid to be one of these kids where like all that matters is stupid superficial stuff like buying wrestling shit.
Yeah.
I think we know one of those, but like don't raise to just don't raise your kid to just be a degenerate and think that all this superficial entertainment shit is but don't raise them to be some socially awkward school shooter PC fucking weirdo. You gotta, as a parent, you gotta find that like happy medium, and you gotta have those sometimes uncomfortable talks, whatever those are, about sex and like that. You know what I mean?
I agree. And like my belief when it comes to kids, adults, whatever, the only way to deter somebody from doing something is to show them what it is.
Subject it to them to an extent.
Yeah, like I'm not going to tell you to never drink. Like you should drink and have a horrible hangover. Then you know why.
Yeah. You should have a horrible,
you know what I mean? Like
you should have a horrible weed or edible experience where you freak the fuck out and you feel like your head's gonna fucking. So like the first time I ever had like a horrible edible experience, I was like 20, and I was like, it was like this weird feeling where like it felt like my head was like gonna explode, but it wasn't. Like, honestly, but like I think everybody should be subjected to like a hangover once where you're throwing up all over the fucking place. You feel like shit and you're sleep deprived the next day.
Right.
You can have one horrible weed experience. I mean, if you want to go that far and try other shit, but like, you know, that's not everybody. That's not me, but like,
so
you know, like, you gotta subject people to it to an extent. And like,
I agree, yo. Like, you know, like it goes for anything, dude. Like horror movies, all right? Like, how do you know that you don't like horror movies until you put one on? Like, if it scares the shit out of you, then good. You know, it did what it's supposed to do. But like, then you can determine, like, okay, horror movies aren't my thing.
Yeah, like I was watching, like people, like I was texting people earlier. They're like, "How do you?" Especially girls. They're always like, "How do you watch it? It's so fucking scary." I'm like, bro, this shit's for original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I watched it on like Saturday, and I'm like, bro, this shit's so fucking old and so low budget. I'm like, the Terrifier movies make this and the original Halloween look like fucking Sesame Street. Yeah. And I'm like the way it, like even my mom, like I remember one year on Halloween, I was at my mom's and we watched Halloween 2 together. And my mom was like, "How do you watch this?" And I'm like, bro, because it's to me. I was like, to me, I can separate art from reality. Freddy Krueger's not real. Michael Myers isn't real. Leatherface isn't real. These are fucking superficial characters. I'm not going to. That's not going to inspire me to go fucking kill people ever. You know what I mean?
Say hi to everybody.
So, hey, that's a nice. You're drowning in pussy tonight.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Don't knock my shit down, dude. Get out of here. So, look at that. I showed the cat, and we got 3 new viewers. See?
And also, one more thing to tie back to Beavis and Butthead was, do you remember that story that happened in like the 90s where like some kid like burned down his trailer house that he lived in? They blamed it on
Beavis was like fire.
Yeah, they blamed it on Beavis and Butthead. But then I was watching an interview the other day of the dude who has like the largest Beavis and Butthead collection in the world, and I guess he was talking about like how he got in touch with that kid like 25 years later, and he's like, yo, at the time I had never even seen Beavis and Butthead. We lived in a trailer and we were poor, so how the fuck could I have even afforded? My family even afforded cable to watch Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah,
he burned it down because he like left a thing on the stove or some shit by accident. Like he didn't.
It was just convenient to blame.
It was like it was a convenient coincidence.
Yeah.
And like, did you know like Mike Judge's like story of how Beavis and Butthead came to be?
No, I know the one for why he came up with the Boomhauer voice on King of the Hill was because someone left a voicemail about Beavis and Butthead, and that's how the dude was talking. He was, "You gotta take that dang thing off TV." Yeah, so like he was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! I have to turn this into a character."
I honestly didn't know that one, but I know that I was watching this documentary that was just basically like about the making of Beavis and Butthead and all that stuff, and like I get Mike Judge was like a fucking studious dude. He graduated with some kind of science degree from like the University of San Diego, and he's like, after like trying to find work in that field. Like he just realized he didn't have a passion for it, and so for fun. I guess they don't seem to do this anymore. Like I always thought like the YMCA was like just for sports and shit. But he was talking in this interview about how like just for fun, he took a free animation class at the YMCA. Wow. And that's how Beavis and Butthead like originally came to be.
You know, the story about how Breaking Bad came to be is pretty funny too. So Peter Gould and Vince Gilligan both worked on the X-Files together. Like sporadically. So like they did get a certain amount of episodes per year or whatever. And then the X-Files ended and the Peter dude called Vince and he's like, well, what do we do now? And he's like, I don't know. Maybe we should just go cook meth in the desert somewhere. And that's how they fucking came up with. He's like, wait a minute, dude. It's a good idea for a show. How can we tie this together?
Became
it was based off like an off the cuff joke.
A top 10 show of all time, arguably.
Yeah.
Easily. What? So let's see. Mike Judge did Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill, Daria, obviously.
Daria's a classic too.
He did that one show. It was like a limited run series on like HBO or some shit. It was
Silicon Valley.
Well, there was that, but then there was that one called like Tales from the Tour Bus.
Oh yeah.
There was one that was like Bootsy Collins. There was one that was like Prince. I think there might have been like a Rick James one. There was a couple of them, but they were like these stories about artists on the road. But like an animated retelling of them.
Yeah. He also did Office Space too.
The movie?
Yeah.
I never seen that.
It's amazing, bro. You gotta see it. But one of my deterrents from drinking, this should make Sully Mack laugh. One of my deterrents from drinking was like, especially when I was living with my grandmother, like it didn't stop me from drinking. So I guess it really wasn't a deterrent, but like I'd wake up in the morning and she'd be like, so you had a good night, huh, man? And I'm like, leave me alone, bro. This is everything with the man, dude. Fucking, you need to get the fuck out, man. Like when first time I hung out with Quincy, bro, I came home, I was bombed, bro. I went upstairs, I went straight to sleep, but I guess I smelled like straight liquor, dude, because he was getting me fucked up, bro. And I was fine off the liquor, dude, but he's from Denver and he gets these really strong THC cards, bro. And we went outside before I left. He's like, hit the cart. I'm like, all right, bro. I'll hit the fucking car. And I did. Now he dropped to my knees, bro. He had to pick me up and fucking toss me in the Uber like when Hillary Clinton fell.
Yeah.
Like, it was like that, bro. He had to pick me up and like toss me in that bitch, dude. And I wasn't far from my grandma's. Like I slept the whole way there. And the Uber driver had to like wake me up. And he's like, yo, we're here, dude. And I'm like,
and wasn't that the night where you decided you were like, yeah, I got to get my own place?
Nah, I woke up in the morning. She made me, bro.
Really?
She was like, yeah, dude. She was so.
I remember that was in like January during the playoffs. And then you moved in like right when COVID was getting real.
Yeah. And I woke up that morning and I came downstairs and she's like, I told you no drinking in the fucking house, man. And I'm like, I didn't, dude. I was at the bar with my friend and I came home because I didn't tell her I called out of work. I told her I was going to work. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna catch an Uber. And I meet Quincy at this bar called Babes. And we just got shit-faced all night, dude. Yeah. And I come home around like 6:30, 7 o'clock. I go straight to sleep. And I woke up. I guess I smelled like such alcohol that like they smelled it downstairs. So she thought I was drinking that. I'm like, I was sleeping. And she's like, you got to fucking go, man. You got to see if that apartment's still taking people, man. And I'm like, this is bullshit, dude. I didn't drink in the fucking house. She's like, I don't give a fuck. You got to go. I said no drinking. I'm like, I didn't drink in the fucking house, man. You know? Yeah, that was like an epic fight, dude. And I'm like, all right, I fucking will. And I picked the shit up and I called on the phone. And he was like, yeah, we're still accepting people. I'm like, bet. I'll fucking be in there in like 3 days, dude.
I remember you told me a story once when you lived with your grandma that back when our old pal, maybe I shouldn't name him.
No, go ahead. Okay.
Juan?
Yeah.
That you would tell me that like you would be chilling in your room playing Red Dead, be like wine drunk. And then John would get in like a domestic dispute with, with
bro.
her, and then he'd have to come over there and like stay the night.
Yeah.
And then
his face was all scratched up and shit, dude.
Wait, what?
He came in that night and his face was all scratched up and shit.
Hey, it all worked out in the end.
It did. Yeah. Now they have a nice happy family.
Me and the baby, if you're watching this, say hi to Steve for me.
Yeah. Now coming to the ring.
You gotta put the old school suit on. You gotta take the old school like Ed Anderson microphone to do that.
Yo, I actually have a microphone in the room. I can go grab it. Bro. Maybe I will when we come back from break. All right, yo, let's take a quick little 5-minute thing.
Yeah, I got the champagne on ice. I gotta go.
Yeah, because we want to be back from midnight. And I'll grab that microphone and I'll do my fucking thing that I said to Cassie.
All right, we'll do that. Get your bow tie too.
I'll try to find something. All right, guys, we'll be back in 5. We'll be back at 47.
Okay. Sound on?
Go back. I have my microphone.
You got your microphone?
I do. All right. So, for those that don't know, what was it? September?
I think it was yeah, it was literally like our third show that got cut short, unfortunately. It was one of the first one. It was after your birthday because it was like our third show on like a Saturday.
Yeah. And no, it was on a Sunday that everything happened because I was watching football. I was cooking.
I thought it was Saturday.
Well, Saturday is when I initially sent the message to Cassie, but she didn't reply until Sunday.
Okay.
And then Sean seen it, he was like, deleted it. And I'm like, no.
You were like, you said something like, you're fat and Sean deserves better.
Yeah, I was like, you're a fat slob. And Sean deserves better than you. And he's like, delete it now. And I'm like, no. And he's like, you're a fucking.
Well, what's the point of deleting a message? Like,
yeah.
if it's a Facebook post, I kind of get it. But like, if they saw the message.
Yeah, well, she didn't because we weren't friends on Facebook, so she had to go into like that separate folder to see it. But you know how like when someone's not your friend, it has that dot in the corner or whatever. Yeah. So she had to go to like message requests to see it, and that's why she didn't see it until the next day.
Yeah,
and I said, and then she was like, "Fuck you, Josh. You're gonna die and shit. You're a drug addict and all this shit." And she's like, "You're gonna die young." I was like, "Yo, you're gonna die before both me and Sean, bro." I was like, "You're like fucking like 400 pounds, dude, and you're like 5'3". Like, what are you talking about, dude?" And I sent her that voice. She started talking shit back, and then I sent her that voice clip, and she blocked me right after the voice clip. And I was like, it was all in the same clip. I was like, "Yo, you saying that I'm gonna die young and shit from being a drug addict and shit?" I was like, "I'm not even a drug addict." And then she called me fat, and I'm like, "Yo, I'm like 230 pounds, dude. You know, I've lost like mad weight. What are you talking about?" And I was like, "You should talk about being fat." And I was like, I was pretty fucking bent at the time, which added to it. And I'm like, now making her way to the ring.
You were really fucked up. I remember.
Yeah. And I was like, now making her way to the ring at 460 pounds. Oh, wait, I was like, from Chadwick's, New York, Viscera.
The world's largest. You forgot the world's largest love machine.
I'm gonna play the actual message. Actually, let me see if I can find it for everybody. Let's see here. September. Here we go. This bitch said I'm gonna die before Sean does. Like, yo, you're gonna die before both of us. Nigga, what are you talking about, bro? Look at yourself, bro. You're fucking 5'2" and you're like fucking 400 fucking pounds, dude. Nigga, I should be announcing you out to the ring. And here comes Viscera! Like, what the fuck is this, bro? Hailing from where the fuck you live, bro? Hailing from Chadwick's, New York, at 426 pounds. Cassandra! You bitch. Then she goes, LMAO, I'm so hurt. Look who's talking. And then blocks me right after.
Didn't she also say like that stupid cliche thing that stupid people say where they're like, look at all the fucks I don't give, or one of those stupid things?
Dude, she's a cliche machine. Me and Sean used to make fun of her because like
you and Sean, but Sean had to get her back.
Yeah,
she's a real prize. You know what's funny is like I knew it was kind of a joke, but I think my grandma like called me a snob for this. But the last time I was there in Minnesota, like last month, I said something like, "Nah, dude, I don't have any animosity towards any girl who's been in my life, whether it was for a week or whether it was months." I go, look, I want them all to be. I hope they all marry a millionaire. And then she goes, stop, that's not realistic. And I go, no, let me finish.
Yeah.
I hope they all marry a millionaire if they're really that much of a prize that they claim to be.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have the same attitude. With certain people, I have the same attitude. Like, like when it comes to Savannah, like I hope that she outdid me. I hope she's happy. I hope
that was kind of like that was my really like shallow, like toxic, like bravado way of thinking. Now I really don't. And I'm just fucking indifferent.
Yeah.
Most of them hit me up anyway, so Whatever.
Yeah, so they can't be doing too well.
Yeah,
Like if you're going back to the well you already went to, it can't be going too far. It always trips me out how because I could have sworn that after 2020 that they wouldn't be able to come up with these creative glasses anymore. You know how they sell the glasses at Walmart where where
it's the year, yeah,
and I'm like, yo, 2020, that's the last one, dude. Like, how you gonna,
there's no more zero.
Find the fucking way.
I don't see. So where's the 5? Is the 5 one of the eyes?
I see one at Walmart. So it's 2 0, then the 0 right here is the first eye, and then it's 2, and then the mini circle in between the 5 is the other eye hole, where it goes around.
I'm Googling it right now. I want to get a look at it.
But
okay, I see a few like these ones. God damn it. Okay, I see these, those work.
Yeah. But I could have sworn after 2020, all right, we're not gonna see any more of these funky ass glasses, dude. It's over. But no, they're still.
I can't remember what. There's certain things where it's after a certain year, it won't sound right or it won't feel right, but then it always does. It always.
They had that classic SpongeBob clip that was where they're sitting in driving school.
Yeah.
And Patrick's like, I got something funny, 2024. And they start laughing, and SpongeBob's like, wait, I got something funnier. It's 2025. Look at these goofballs and
I got it on the CNN one too with their fucking Planet Fitness hats every year.
Yeah. Planet Fitness, what a joke of a gym that is. That's the only place that I've seen that's all right, guys, now let's have some pizza.
It's a joke. It's a joke, but at the same time, it's a genius fucking business model because it's so cheap. So many people sign up, and then most of the time it's not fucking Billy Blanks that goes there.
Yeah. So, if you're just starting your fitness journey, I'm all in support of Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are intimidated to go to a real Gold's Gym or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to be in somewhat kind of shape. You know what I mean?
But so I saw a TikTok once and it was it's so cheap that you're well, fuck, I don't need to cancel it. It's only $10. And then you have it forever, because you don't even want to go through the trouble of driving all the way over there and canceling it because what's the point?
Yeah, and that's the fucking thing. You have to cancel in person.
Yeah, which is stupid. What's funny is I saw Biden a month ago before he's gonna leave office was gonna pass some law where you won't have to cancel shit in person, which I'm all for because it saves the awkward run in. But it's
I was trying to cancel one time and I was trying to cancel forever, but the contract wasn't up yet, so I had to pay it out for the remaining 2-3 months or whatever. Because one fucking New Year's, Sean convinced me. He's like, come on, let's get back into the gym. All right, dude. And then a month then he just dropped it. And I'm like, yo, it's on my fucking card, asshole. And I'm sitting here and paying this shit. Now, like you said, it's not that it's expensive. It's the annoyance of it.
It's the annoyance and the inconvenience of it.
Yeah. So
and again, that's how they get you by making it so you only can cancel it in person. You know what I mean?
So I'm calling these people and I'm like, yo, I want to cancel this. You got to come in. I'm like, are you sure you want me to come in fucking person, dude? Because I'm not in the fucking mood, bro. I've been dealing with you people for 3 fucking months trying to cancel this shit. And you keep telling me I got to come in and all this. Well, first they told me I had to finish out the contract because if I didn't, there's this ridiculous cancellation fee.
Yeah.
It's $80 to $100 or something to cancel early. And I'm like, fuck that, dude. I'd rather eat the $30 or whatever it was, the $45, whatever the fuck, over the fucking next 2-3 months than pay the early cancellation.
Yeah.
But what really pissed me off is he begged me to get the fucking membership for us, and then he just completely fucking dropped it.
Because during New Year's they do that dollar enrollment fee.
Right. Yeah, but it's just in there because that's only for the first month or something.
Yeah, and then it goes back to normal.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go open this champagne real quick because we got 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go let Ali out for New Year's. I won't be a complete asshole. Come on, buddy. Come on, dude. You're staying in next time Jordan comes, asshole. She wants to spend time with you. At least 5 minutes, pets. Oh, shit. God damn. All right, gang. We about to ring in the new year. Wish I had some drugs. Actually, I do. Eat one if you dare. No, I'm not doing that tonight. You know what? If I was doing it any night, it should be tonight because I'm fucking off tomorrow. But maybe I'll do them tomorrow afternoon. Ring in the new year properly. What's going on with this thing? Okay. See? What the fuck? Fucking cat, bro. There we go. All right, we're back to normal now. Well, CNN's got some chick. Oh, we got some Jewish guy in there in the audience. He's gone. I was going to show you guys. Anybody drinking out there for New Year's? I wonder what my first song on Spotify will be for the new year. Put it on shuffle and see how they kick off my year. Oh, shit. All right, Sully, we got you. I'll ring in the new year with the cat box story, buddy. Yeah, I'll take liberties telling the cat box story after midnight. Maybe that's how we'll wrap the show tonight because we're not going to go too late. We just wanted to ring in the New Year's with you guys. But CNN's got some chick named Mickey Guyton. No idea who the fuck this lady is, bro. She dressed like she's in the fucking ice age. It's not that fucking cold, lady. We might be getting higher ratings than CNN tonight, actually. Word, man. Getting tired of you getting drunk in the fucking house, man. It's like, yo, leave me alone, dude. That was my biggest thing is like, yo. And then one time Sean told me, he's like, yo, you know what you need to do? You need to go in there. And I listened to him. I got back from Walmart. And he's like, yo, you just need to go in there and drop your beer in the fridge like a fucking man. And I'm like, all right, bro. And he's like, yo, she'll respect that shit. No, she didn't, dude. No, I mean, she didn't take it from me, but she was not happy. All right, let me see. Let me see if we can count down with them. Let's see here, guys. Let's see what I got here. All right, we got 30 seconds. That we'll count down ourselves. All right, we got, let's see here.
15 on mine, probably.
All right, okay. So let's see. We'll do the 10 or something. Now my fucking computer clock is showing midnight already. What the fuck?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I still got 3 more hours here, and I couldn't get the champagne bottle open, but fuck it, I'll get it open later.
See ya, 2024. Champagne bottles can be an asshole to open.
I know I don't have a bottle opener because like I don't ever have it.
Is it corked?
I'll show you. Yeah, see, it's corked.
Oh shit! You're gonna need a corkscrew, bro.
Yeah. I have a can opener, but that wouldn't work for this.
Nah. But Sully Mac wanted me to tell the cat box story, so I'll tell the cat box story.
Okay.
Some of you guys might not know the cat box story because it was told on an episode of Nearly Insane where the audio is still kind of fucked up. Mm-hmm. So I'll tell the full, unadulterated, unbridled story of the cat box. So me and Sean were both living at my grandmother's at the time. And we both got pretty fucked up. So like we had like an 18-pack of like Labatt or something. And we had a bottle of whiskey called Knob Creek. And Knob Creek is 100 proof. Like they don't make anything but 100 proof. But it goes down pretty smooth. That was the night that he fell on the safe. And I thought he was fucking like unconscious or dead, dude.
On?
Yeah, dude. So he was so fucked up. So like my stepdad used to listen to country artist named Randy Travis, and he had this song that was called "Digging Up Bones," and one of the lyrics of the song, like him and Cassie had just split up, so he was still wearing their wedding ring.
Yeah,
and one of the lyrics of the song is fucking something like I looked at the wedding ring and I took it off and I gave yours a fling or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So he was so drunk that he's like, yo, bring it back, replay it. And I'm like, all right. So I replay it and he takes the ring off and just fucking chucks it against the wall, like trying to fucking live out the song.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we were playing NBA 2K. I forget the year, probably 18.
Oh, was Joe Sean in action?
Yeah. Deshaun was in action. And I forget exactly how he fell off the bed, but I think he leaned back or something, and he just positioned it wrong, dude. My grandmother had like this mini safe. It's probably like, it's not like a big safe. It's like small square safe.
Yeah.
And he leaned back and like he missed the bed, and homeboy landed square on his back on that motherfucker. And he didn't say shit, bro. He just laid there. He was like, and I'm like, oh shit, bro. Like, are you okay? I'm like, Uncle Sean. And like after like 10 seconds, he's like, right? He starts
He was like the Road Warriors.
Yeah. He's like, and I'm like, oh shit, dude, you all right? He's like, leave me alone. So he gets up, bro, right? So like an hour later, we call it a night. Like obviously, we're pretty fucked up, dude. We killed like a whole bottle of 100 proof, a whole 18 pack of Labatt's. Like we were deep in our drinking bag at that time.
Yeah.
So I go to bed. I throw something on like Hulu or whatever the fuck, and lay down, maybe YouTube or whatever. And I get a good night's sleep, man. Come down the next morning, and I come walking down the stairs, bro. And all of a sudden, my Uncle Scott, he's just like, he confronts me, bro, with like his finger in my face. He's like, you fucking nasty motherfucker. And I'm like, what, dude? I'm like, I didn't fucking do anything, bro. Like, what's the problem? And he like, he didn't want to hear it, bro. He just like turned around and walked in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And he walks up to my grandmother. He's like, there he is, the nasty motherfucker who pissed in the fucking cat box. And I'm like, no, I didn't, dude. I'm like, what are you guys talking about, bro? Because I lived upstairs. So like when I would drink, this might be nastier, but like when I would drink, I would piss out the window to avoid going downstairs because they'd smell the alcohol. So like, because I was drinking,
it's like in the house, what you see in the house parties in the movies.
Yeah.
American Pie or some shit.
I'd literally stick my dick out the top window and piss, bro. And like there was nothing holding the window up, so I'm like doing this shit. I'm like holding the window and also like my dick at the same time. Like,
it wasn't like a sliding one.
Not it was one you had to lift up, bro. You had to lift it up.
Because like in houses and shit that I've lived in, like we had the sliding ones, but then we also had these ones where like you had to go like this to like.
It wasn't a crank one, but like there was nothing keeping it in place. So like, in order to piss out the window correctly, I had to hold it with one arm, with like one hand.
Yeah.
And then also in my other hand, piss out the window. So I'm like, yo, there's no way I fucking piss in the cat box, bro. Because when I drink, I avoid downstairs. Like I'll piss in a bottle, I'll piss in a Gatorade jug, a Hawaiian Punch jug, whatever the fuck. Anything to not get caught drinking in the house because I didn't want to hear the shit, man. You know what I mean? So like I just avoided it, dude.
Yeah.
So I come downstairs and I'm like, they're bitching at me, bro, and they're blaming me for pissing in this fucking cat box. And he's like, it's fucking disgusting, fucking turds floating. And I'm like, yo, it wasn't me, bro. So Sean, like, he's hearing this whole shit. And I'm just getting like verbally assaulted, bro. They're like, he needs to fucking leave. Fucking nasty. He doesn't know respect for the cat or for this house. And I'm like, yo, you need to stop. I'm like, it wasn't me, dude. But like, I couldn't blame him for not believing me because I always like lie my way out of shit. Yeah, I was over there. You know what I mean? So like they were not hearing it, dude. So all of a sudden, dude, like 10 minutes passed, I'm just sitting there. I just got my head in my hands, dude. I'm like, oh my fucking god, dude! I pissed in the fucking cat box, bro. So Sean's hearing this whole shit unfold in the bedroom, the downstairs bedroom. He slept in my grandma's room because my grandma slept on the couch. I guess I come from a family of couch sleepers, I guess. But so like Sean's hearing this shit all unfold, bro. And so finally he steps out of the bedroom. He like took up for me. Like it felt like that scene in Spartacus where it's like, no, I'm Spartacus. No, I'm Spartacus. He's like, he didn't do it. He's like, it was me, yo. It's got like the whole like all putting me down, all the negative shit just fucking stopped. It just came to a screeching halt right when he bro. Like, okay, it wasn't Josh. Finally, and I'm like, I fucking told you gonna apologize. They didn't say shit, bro. They didn't fucking say anything. So fucking they like shit. Like what made it worse for him is that they didn't say anything. Like because for me it was like expected. Josh is the drunk. He'll just piss somewhere, you know what I mean? But like for him, like it wasn't like that. So the only thing I said to him was like, "You need to go get some more fucking litter." He's like, "All right." So he went down to Dollar General and he got the litter, and I'll never forget, bro. The look on his face when we're cashing out is like you ever do something embarrassing and like the person you're talking to doesn't know that you've done the embarrassing thing, but you feel like that they know.
Yeah.
Right. So like that's how he felt cashing out. And he's with the litter and he's just like looking around, dude. He's like, he doesn't want to look the cashier in the face. He's just like looking around like the shelves. Shit,
I mean, who cares? The cashier doesn't care.
Right, but he felt like he was being judged by the cashier and shit, bro. Like she knew why he was buying the litter is how he felt, dude, right? So he finally gets home, bro, and he walks in with the litter, and he bought like Fresh Step or some shit or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he walks in with the bag, he puts it on the table, and they're like, the cat doesn't like that kind.
I didn't even know.
Because all they ever bought the cat was like fucking like what the fuck was it, yo? Like Tidy Cat or some shit. And he
I remember that. Yeah.
He bought like a different brand. And they're like, he doesn't fucking like that kind. And for like the rest of the day, like he was just like mad and depressed. He didn't say shit, bro. But them turds were really floating. And like my other uncle, like he was such an asshole that he didn't clean the shit until he could show the person who did it what they did. So like the poor cat suffered. Like, what if the cat had to shit or piss or something?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And he was like, "Nah, you're gonna see what you did, bro." And like he picked the thing up, and there's just like, and I'm like, "Yo, why did you like the toilet is right there, bro? Like the fucking litter box is in the bathroom."
Yeah.
So he was like, he's like, "I couldn't make it, bro." He was like, "I was too drunk," and like he's like, "I hit the door and I was just like wobbling." Yeah. And he's like, "Fuck it, dude. There's the cat box. I'll deal with it in the morning." But like my grandmother and my other uncle wake up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, dude.
Scott?
Like, Scott and Judy, they both wake up at like 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Because Scott goes out running in the morning. He does like 8 miles a day running. So he'll get his run out the way dumb early. And I'm like, I understand you were drunk, but like, why would you think that you would like beat them to the evidence, bro? Like, number one, we didn't go to bed till like 1:30. Number two, we were both fucking shit-faced, dude. There's no way we're beating them up, dude. Yeah. But I caught the wrath at first. And I'm like pleading with them, like, yo, it wasn't me, dude. Like, if this is like a death penalty or like a murder thing, I'd be cooked, bro. They would not believe me, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said it and just all of it stopped, bro. Yeah. But he like emptied his bladder in this motherfucker, bro. That shit was like filled to almost like the brim, dude.
Oh, that's disgusting.
It's when Scott was like, the fucking turds are floating. Like he wasn't joking, bro. Like they really fucking were, bro.
Someday we're gonna have, speaking of Sean, we're gonna have to tell the story of the Abu Knocker to this audience that may not be familiar with the last show.
Yeah, we do have to tell the Abu
we can do like the background that night. We can do that Abu Knocker. That didn't we make like a wrestling or like a horror movie poster? And then you posted it, and then he laughed at it.
No, he was a good sport, dude.
Yeah,
I kind of have to respect him for that.
Who knew him again? Like, and you saw him on Facebook.
Cassie dated him.
Who?
Cassie dated him.
Oh yeah, I know Cassie dated him, but then remember like a month ago or 2 months ago, he like randomly.
It was Sean's ex-girlfriend, Justa, went to that thing and he won with a contest for like the chicken riggies or whatever.
Yeah. And then you posted it. You posted it in the comments. So
yeah, it was like me and Sean were still on good terms, and I was like, "Yo, you're not gonna believe this, bro." And I remember you're like, "Yo, like I forget exactly how you put it. You were like, the Joshua show never ends or something like that." Like, no, it was like the side characters never whatever.
Well, it's funny because like there's so many like it all correlates. Like you said, like the girl, like we knew who DJ Rabis was.
Yeah.
And then you have the girl upstairs who moves in, and fucking Rabis is helping her move in.
Yeah, and me and Quincy are in the backyard. I couldn't believe what the fuck I'm seeing, bro. And I text Maria, and I'm like, "Yo," you're not gonna believe this shit. And she's like, she thought I was trying to like get back with her or something. And I'm like, yo, like, you're not gonna fucking believe this shit, bro. And she's like, what, hun? And I'm like, nah, like, stop with the hun shit, dude. DJ Rabis was helping the girl upstairs move in. And she's like, I wish people would stop fucking telling me about him. Yeah. Yeah. So everything just circles back with me. It's fucking crazy, bro. I don't like. I put my life.
It's not like you live in a small town of 1,000 people either.
No.
Like you don't live in some Main Street USA shit where there's only a post office, a grocery store, and a gas station. It's like, oh, everybody knows each other. Like you live in a place that's like as big as mine.
It's like 40, 50,000 people, bro.
Yeah, and mine's. I mean, and then you count like the outer like suburban. It's probably bigger. Like where I live, it's 100,000 something. But if you count the outer suburban shit, it's even more.
Alicia was the first person to text me Happy New Year.
I haven't gotten you one yet because still 2020. I'm stuck. I live in the past.
Oh, yeah.
I live in the past. It's still 2024 over here. I'm expecting at least one drunk text.
Oh, dude, I might actually have a fucking meme for you, bro. I hope I saved it, dude. Let me see. I hope I did. I don't want to post it because fucking... Shit, I didn't save it, motherfucker. It was like one of those hypnotizing images, right?
Yeah.
And it was like you will drunk text me on New Year's. But I didn't save it because Jordan's trying to stop drinking, so I'm not trying to like encourage
with a fucking locket or whatever the fuck they are, a pocket watch.
Nah. It was like, let me see if I can find it, bro. I knew I should save
dude.
it.
Ellie Goulding's performing on the CNN one right now.
It better not be Lights, bro.
No, it's the other one where it's Burn.
Oh, that's an okay one.
Dude, these songs used to hit so much when I was in love when I was younger.
They were fire, dude.
Now I'm just like,
I found it, bro. I'm gonna text it to you right now, dude. This is yours. This is yours to keep because I can't use it for right now. It's amazing though. Because like if you look at it long enough, it does look hypnotizing, dude.
It's like one of those. It's like one of those pictures where if you squint, you can see like Jesus or whatever.
Yeah, well, this one you don't even have to squint.
Not this one, but that was just what I was thinking of.
Yeah, like this one you don't have to squint, but it's super funny.
I'm gonna post it on my Instagram story. All right, I'm gonna post it on my Instagram. Yeah, you can tell like it's got that weird like optical illusion shit.
Yeah, it's great, dude. Because I was looking at it and I'm like, yo, this shit is actually like fucking with my eyes, dude.
Yeah, you definitely.
I'm posting it on my Instagram.
So shit! I don't know what I accidentally did, but like my Instagram stories always post to my Facebook too, and then I always have to scramble to delete them because like most of the shit I post on Instagram is like not Facebook appropriate.
Yo, I think remember we caught Caitlin spying on my fucking Instagram. I think the reason for that is because on my Instagram, when I first got my AR, I put the picture up of me holding the AR, and I think her friend seen it. But what happened was I noticed that when I changed my Instagram picture, it also changed it on Facebook. So I scrambled. I'm like, fuck, dude, I can't have this. You know, I was fine with that on Instagram because like I'm not really on Instagram.
Yeah,
I think no, really fine, but I can't have it as my Facebook profile picture. Be in my fucking kitchen holding a fucking AR-15, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh fuck, dude, I didn't want this. But I think that her friend was stalking my shit and seen it and told her to go look. But by the time she looked, it was gone. And I think she was scrolling through and accidentally double tapped, dude. And that's what ended up fucking her, dude.
Was it that friend that like you were getting kind of cool with, and then you found out it was her friend?
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I finally removed her a couple months ago, which I should have done a while ago. But I finally removed her off my page a couple months ago. And guess what? I stopped getting reported. My meme stopped getting taken down.
Did you still have her as a friend when you did that one thing?
To what?
When you did that one thing? You made that phone call?
I believe so. Yeah.
I mean, because I remember when you posted something about doing that, like it immediately got reported or taken down or something.
So that could have been either her or the girl who used to live upstairs because she's like,
she was that dude's cousin or whatever.
Yeah.
It worked.
It did work. It was one of the most diabolical things I've ever done.
But it's not like you hurt anyone. You just did shit the legal way.
I was a good citizen. That was the funniest thing is like when I talked to the fucking detective dude, he was like, "Thank you for being a good citizen." I remember, I told Jordan that shit, and I'm like, he said, "Thank you for being a good citizen." She's like, "If he only knew."
Wasn't the cop like all excited to go to that guy's house? He's like, on so and so on 4th Street or whatever.
Yeah. He like named the street, and I'm like, I don't fucking know, dude. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, they're a regular resident there.
Yeah, he was like the one on whatever street, and I'm like, I don't fucking know, dude. Maybe. I was like, I don't know. I was like, if he's in your system, probably.
Yeah, right. He's a felon.
Most likely, buddy. And I was like, but if they're not, then I can guarantee that she's at her address. And I was like, that's at blah 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 street. And he was like, oh, thanks. This is great.
You fucking sang like the opera.
Yeah. Well, it was deserved, man.
Yeah. Well, why was he a felon again?
So from what they told me when I was over their house, when I was over Caitlin's for Halloween, was that like when he was younger, he did like an armed robbery of some store or something, and like he would always bitch about not being able to get a good job and stuff.
Oh shit!
Right, and he's like, I did it like 10 years ago, and I'm like,
he still did it.
Right, and then
to me, like if you sold, like I don't mean like drug cartel shit. I just mean like the normal, like selling some coke or selling some weed. I believe you're redeemable for that. But if you put people's lives in danger, I don't like in legit danger, like robbing a place. I don't like, tough shit. You can't get a good job. You put people's lives in fucking danger. So have fun slaving it at a metal factory. Yeah, and like he's like the job I had. So he worked at like a gas station or whatever, for like fucking overnight or whatever. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, okay, well, I should have a leg up on this guy. You know what I mean? Like he gets fucking like the graveyard shift at fucking Fast Track. Yeah, I should have a leg up on this dude when it comes to dating her. Yeah, well, guess what? No, I didn't. No, dude, I used to think when I was younger and I worked at like restaurants and the mall and shit, I'd always have to work on nights and weekends. I was like, oh, once I have a Monday through Friday job like I do now, I was always like, oh, I have no problem. No girl could ever cheat on me, blah, blah. I'm like, nope, there's always a fucking way. You're never safe, but you just have to take it with a grain of salt. All of it.
Yeah, 100%, bro. But what do you think? You want to? Oh, guys, I did put it at the bottom, but I do want to promote it as well. Saturday, January 4th, first show of 2025. Quincy will be here.
Season premiere.
Yes, season premiere. So season 2 begins the 4th. This is the season 1 finale. So season 1 premiere. Quincy will be here, not on video. Well, he'll be on video, but he'll be here in person. We may do it in a different room or something so that we're both visible on the phone.
Wear your masks and not the gay COVID ones. Wear your wrestling masks. Yeah. Or wear your fucking scary shit like this.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if Quincy can lend me a mask for.
Lend you a fucking Super Dragon mask or some shit.
It's gonna be fun.
Does he just keep all those in his truck? Or what?
Yeah. He's like
got a whole fucking thing of
lucha masks. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Yeah, it's time to go. We got CNN with Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper's gay asses with some shirtless men.
With some fucking Chippendale motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, with this Calvin Klein boxer showing out of the belt loop here.
Anderson Cooper's getting a little red over that.
Oh, dude! So CNN does it like all night for each time zone.
I don't
countdown again.
Well, I think they just started over.
Oh,
like they start over like a rerun. But I mean, they do other ones in Los Angeles and shit, but nobody cares.
Oh,
but yeah, they just started over, is all.
Oh,
because like they just I mean, they must. Yeah, they must. Because,
because, I mean, they're not going to drop the ball every hour.
Yeah, they're not going to drop it again. Yeah. It costs, a lot of fucking money to do that shit.
Yeah. So they probably just did it back.
What was that thing you were once talking about where you can get, a billboard in Times Square, but you have to, it's a $60, and all it does is slide across one screen twice or once?
We should do it, bro. We should do it.
How much is it again?
Bro. I'll look into it. Actually, let me see.
I remember the comedian Eric Andre, like his stand-up came out on Netflix, like right when lockdown shit happened, and he had a billboard on Times Square to promote it, and he was like,
"No one was going to see it."
He was like, "My childhood dream was to always have a billboard in Times Square, but only 2 people are gonna walk by it and cough."
Yeah. So, dude, it's $40 for 15 seconds, bro.
15 seconds. We could do like 120, split it 60, and it'd be 3 times.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna see it. There's a bazillion people walking around Times Square every day of the year, so somebody's gonna see that.
As long as the poster is good enough, people are gonna check it out.
And my friend Michael lives in Manhattan, so I wonder if you can like set a time for it, and then I could like have him go there and film it like right when you do it.
Yeah. Yeah. But all right, gang. We will see you.
Happy New Year. We'll see you next year if you're still on the West Coast like me.
Yeah, I'm glad that we were able to bring in the new year with you guys. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Yeah, this is the season 1 finale, but we're not taking a huge break like The Sopranos.
Right. Yeah, we're not going to take fucking 3 years off and get back.
Yeah.
We'll be back with you Saturday afternoon. Time to be determined because Quincy comes in at 2. I'm sure he's going to want to hang out a little bit before.
Settle in. Don't want to get too flustered, and I don't have shit going on this weekend, so I'm down.
Happy New Year, Sally Mac. Appreciate you, buddy.
If you're at New Year's parties or you're going to one because it's still early where I am, stay out of a cell. A casket costs like $10,000. A DUI costs a shit ton of money, and Uber is only like $20 as long as you're not like downtown in a fucking city. So stay out of a cell, stay out of the back of a car, stay out of a cell, get an Uber, get a DD. That DD's not going to be me because I'm going to somehow get this fucking open tonight.
You know what? Uber and Lyft offer free shit tonight, I think, anyway, too.
What?
So Uber and Lyft offer free rides tonight.
Do they? Yeah, and people are always volunteering and shit, too.
Yeah, so
the thing about me is I don't want to volunteer because I don't want to be out when the roads are abundant with fucking drunk drivers.
Yeah, but the main thing is don't be an asshole. Don't kill yourself or other people. Don't end up in a cell.
And think about it. Be proud of yourself for making it through an entire year. Because, like, the older I've gotten, especially this year, I'm like, it really isn't that. Like, when you're a kid and New Year comes around, you're like, oh, you watch the show on TV, whatever.
Yeah.
When you're an adult and you go through trials and tribulations, mental health, pain, loss, being broke, struggling financially, whatever it may be, like when you really think about it, it's like it really is kind of a challenge. Like it really is a success that you made it through a year because the world's a crazy place. You could have gotten in a car accident. You could have been where a mass shooting was. You could have been in a plane crash, a car crash, a freak accident. And you weren't. So it's like it's real. It's as you get older, like it really is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
In itself that you made it through another year.
Yeah. And also, you know what? It sounds cliche and corny, but this is the start of, you can write your own book right now. You're on the page 1.
Yeah, you're on page 1. Blank canvas. If you like art, blank canvas. You got whatever fucked up, things happened, discrepancies, inadequacy, whatever. So now you turn the page. It's brand new. Day 1 of 365.
Put it in the trunk and leave it there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We will see you Saturday with Quincy live in the flesh in the building. Peace, y'all.